for the next presentation, I'm introducing to you someone who almost everybody here, I think, knows well. This is Ruth MATEUS BERR. She is working here at the University of Applied Arts, the Institute of Art, Science and Education. The next presentation is about a project that, a big European project that Ruth and some other groups in different European countries were initiating about the combination of art and art education in the combination with mathematics. So I was once attending one of these presentations in Hungary, in Pécs, and it was very interesting, but not so easy to understand, I must tell you. At least not for my brain. So Ruth studied art education at the University of Applied Arts and English and History, also in Vienna here at the university. Her PhD, completed in 2002, investigated the design of carnival parades in Vienna in 1939, and she gained a postdoctoral qualification in design education in 2011. Her research focuses on the interface between art, design and science, and she has published articles and books about inter-transdisciplinary art and design, social design, art and design and textile education, multi-sensual art and design transfer, mathematics and design and fashion and textiles and games. So we all know that Ruth is what we say in German, a Tausendsassa. And the intercultural and social projects is also one of her activities. Presently, she is professor at the Institute of Art, Sciences and Art Education, Institute of Art and Society at the Department of Social Design and head of Department for Didactics in Art, Textile and Design. She is an active member of the Design Research Society, the International Society of Education Through Art, INCEA, and the Research Committee of Sensory Studies, and is currently an external evaluator of EU Program P7, Marie Curie Multi-ITN Project, Traders. Professor MATEUS BERR teaches design research, applied design thinking art, design and textile education, and team and presentation skills. She founded the Applied Design Thinking Lab Vienna in 2007 and recently initiated interdisciplinary and intercultural projects. Her personal artwork focuses on interfaces between research and arts, artistic research, performance, staged photography, and topics of such as smart cities, society, medicine, national socialism, racism, malpractice, smellscape, education, silver generation, collaborative artwork. It has featured in numerous exhibitions, workshops, and publications in Austria and abroad. So much to Ruth. Now I will introduce to you Lilijana RADOVIC, who is the Serbian presenter of this project, of this big European project that I mentioned before. She is teaching at the Department of Mathematics, University of Niš, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering in Serbia. Lilijana RADOVIC was born in Niš, Serbia on 28 October 1969. She graduated in mathematics from the University of Niš in 1993, where she gained an Master in Science in Mathematics in 2000 and a PhD in Mathematics in 2004. She is currently Associate Professor at the University of Niš. Professor RADOVIC has published more than 30 papers on symmetry and ornament, color symmetry and anti-symmetry, ethnomathematics and knot theory, and has participated in many international conferences. She collaborated with Professor Slavik Jablan on creating a visual mathematics course at BMU Belgrade and co-authored with Jablan the Vasarely Playhouse, published by the Association for South Pannon Museums in Hungary in 2011. In 2012, she co-edited and authored Experience-Centered Approach and Visuality in Education in Mathematics and Physics. This was published by Kaposhvar University, and she also did adventures on paper math art activities for experience-centered education of mathematics, published by Esterházy Karoli College within Tempus Project. She is the editor of electronic journal Vish Math and has participated in research projects focusing on geometry, education, and visualization. So let us give the chair to these two ladies and listen to them and show.
Thank you for the nice introduction. I think we are very embarrassed now because you read too much about the short form of presentation. Left us more minutes for you. Maybe what we will talk about today is a small case study about a big project, or maybe which happened at the end of the project, but which shows like how we collaborated the last years. So the context of this project was to set out and improve mathematical knowledge through visual arts, and was a Viennese secondary school, and it was about the labyrinths, Greek myths and patterns to help students transfer visual knowledge to mathematics. And what we wanted to do is actually we wanted to see the relationship of the academy to secondary schooling develop and grow, because connections between school subjects are not evident to many students, and this is one of the main problems with the school curriculum today, we believe. The context for the classroom case study reported we also published the paper that was a collaborative research project funded by the European Council Tempus, which were already mentioned before. There we got to know each other, became friends, and go on with further projects. So this is kind of international conferences are good for, or meeting or research projects. You get to know each other, start to like each other, and start to continue with each other. Maybe the important thing is that pattern and symmetry should fit to secondary school level 4. It is in the secondary school level in Austrian curriculum, and we involve 25 school children, 20 girls and 5 boys from diverse cultural backgrounds. And actually we as university professors, we went to the school and we would teach the children, and they immediately were very fond of that they could understand English. At least how we presented it. Yeah, they got an theoretical input, but now maybe start a little bit about we got involved for this presentation, and also because of contemporary discussions in Austria about the curriculum, how art is used, or design subjects are used to integrate subjects or disciplines. So I want to quote Stacy Salazar, who was here recently. She said a very nice quote. I would like to quote her. She said, "Teachers and researchers in K-12 art education have articulated the disposition of creative thinkers. So what is the main important thing? Taking risks, being passionate, having self-discipline, being open and flexible, and understanding multiple points of view. The conditions conducive to developing artistic dispositions in learners, such as exploration, play, and dialogue, and the ways in which engaging students with visual culture and contemporary art may enhance student creativity and cognition." So we were researching about what kind of different approaches are used in especially American curricula, how they try to integrate art. So they always we had some kind of crisis for the subject, arts or art education, and then it was involved to to other subjects. So this seems to be an up and down of integrating art. So I will not go in deeper details on that, but you know, there's some different approaches like interdisciplinary approach, like people just focus on a topic and then go together, like integrated or infusion model. Teachers create common objectives based around a single theme. Or teachers in parallel disciplines model collaborate and sequence lessons so that topics in two related disciplines are taught within the same time frame. But in this case study, we wanted to try to interdisciplinary and integrated lessons. And the goal of this case study, now Lilijana will talk about.
Yes, thank you. Well, Ruth already told that we were doing together on this project. So the goal of this study, case study in this school in Vienna was to try to improve mathematical knowledge through visual art and verse, to transfer visual knowledge to mathematics. And actually this was the art class, and we put some mathematics inside. Before I continue with further talk about these topics on mathematics and how we connect them, I just want to point out that actually the same problem as you can see and find in art education today, the same problem is in mathematics. From one side we have a pressure about good results on tests. From the other side there is a big problem with understanding the problems and really the creativity. So we really have the very same goal to improve the creativity, to improve the pattern recognition, to improve playing with the simple ideas, with the simple modules, with tiles, as it will be used in further talk. So when Ruth invited me, it was the period when in this school, these pupils were to teach on labyrinths from artistic and history of art point of view. And actually it was a very good topic for interdisciplinarity lesson, because actually even when you have a multicultural student population or pupil population, the labyrinth is one of the topics that connect them. It has historical roots in many cultures, and also it can be connected with many school subjects, their history, math, art, literature, mythology, and religion. So how is the topic on labyrinth connected with mathematics? It can be simply connected with these black and white lines, or if we take a deeper look on it, it can be rediscovered that we can use black and white strips or rectangles, which consist of these black and white strips, put them together to get something we call meander lines or knots or meander labyrinths like maze, and then by rotating some of these modules or tiles, you can produce the labyrinth. So we have started with this, also with a historical point of view, and some topics on their geometrical structure, and the labyrinth from the point of view of mythical construction, or the place where people were dancing, or as represent a helical line. Actually, this was the point also to talk about ornamentation at the palace of Minos Knossos, where we can find the two-sided axis, and it refers to motif that appears on the walls on this palace. And also it is connected with a famous myth about Minotaurs. Also we represent the silver coin from Knossos, where is the visible this labyrinth, and we represent how they can make it, because the basic point was how to produce such a labyrinth. We suggested this approach with with here you can recognize this part of the labyrinth, squares with black and white lines. And at first, if you put them together, you will got just the line like this, meander line. And if you rotate two of them, you can produce the labyrinth structure. Actually, this is the basic scheme of this, and here you can see these modules. And this was the connection with the op tiles. Actually, this workshop were performed several times during the project, and the author of these labyrinth games was my professor, Slavik Jablon. And this is some picture from Page in 2011, and also some during the project. Our pupils in this school got the small tiles, so they can try to combine them. And this was, as I said, the connection with patterns and patterns recognition. Actually, we can find patterns in all the cultures. This is one picture from Donald Crowe book, Symmetry of Cultures. And they are very much connected with symmetry, repetition, and geometry topics on geometry, like rotation, translation, shifting, and so on. But we were based on combination of motifs to create decorative patterns. Of course, this is also the curiosity and desire to understand or decode meanings. In previous lecture, we were told about decoding process, which is also very important. Patterns lead us later to the principle of modularity, where we want several basic models to be combined and to produce a large number of modular structures. So we should search for such modular elements, and our goal to have as less as possible. And here you can see something we call the Truche tile. It is a square with a black and white part, and with a combination of these tiles, you can get plenty of different kind of structure and patterns that also can be used in textiles and design. A little bit different is this one with a little bit complicated structure, but actually also it is based on black and white. And this is something that in mathematics we call anti-symmetry, because instead of having the pure symmetry, you involve two colors, black and white, and also you can add their opposites. And here we can find some of these basic op tiles. So instead of having only black and white parts up and down of the diagonal, you can produce such kind of tiles, and putting them together, you can get a lot of interesting structures that can be patterns that can be even found in Neolithic and Neolithic period. Also, by shifting them, you can get these spiral structures. Yeah, okay. We also use this during our course in visual mathematics for students, so it can be applied on many levels of education, starting from elementary school, and also you can produce a lot of really great op tiles, as it is this animation in upper right corner made by Professor Slavik. So these were our basic elements from which you can produce all this artistic kind of op tiles. So we moved more to op art, and students were producing after that their own tiles, and they were free to put them together in a form they like. So they knew what tiles are. They found out about anti-symmetry, black and white. They found out about op art and some effects of flickering and so on. So these are some of their works. They made exhibition after that. So they have a grouping work, they have individual work. Also they produce some of t-shirts. And also this is from the exhibition in Belgrade. This is a math teacher who also used this idea to produce jewelry design with actually her pupils has done that. And to conclude is that we should find some, not some, there are plenty of common tasks and goals that we have. So the question, relation between universities and secondary elementary school should be on the professor on university level to find a way to communicate with professor from elementary, secondary school. This is my opinion. Also about interdisciplinary integration project, we should collaborate more. It is not good if art teachers teach mathematics. It is not good if math teachers teach art. We should do this together in such a way of this interdisciplinary project. Thank you.